but we were like playing it cool.
Yeah.
No, we were playing it trying to survive.
Yeah. Did they say they're having a meet and
they were like, I was like, oh my God, they think I'm hot.
He said a lot of words, and I was like, this is Dylan O'Brien.
Like, we love your outfit. We love your outfit. We love your outfit. Saying something
like
you were saying something very. We are not teenagers anymore.
No.
In fact, we're older than all these people.
Yeah.
Fangirl Central.
Okay.
So we are back.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so we're back with another episode of Fangirl Central. This is the part 2 episode of
last week's episode. So if you didn't listen,
pause and go listen.
Listen to that one first.
Because we did give it, this is the Comic-Con episode, and we did give a lot of kind of like lore into how we ended up at our first year of Comic-Con, which
and, like,
is,
what causes,
in short, Amanda's obsession with Marvel and Sebastian Stan.
And what causes someone to, get into that type of mania. And it's a combination of like Tumblr and already having a history of being a fangirl, being a little bit manic about movies.
Yes.
Well, actually,
being manic about movies and needing to know all the new information as soon as it comes out. Like
as soon as it comes out.
And we mean the first of the general public to know.
I was so angry that I wasn't in that room when they said that Winter Soldier was happening, that I knew I could never happen again.
Yep.
Or as long as I was like obsessed with it. I was like, this is not gonna work out for me. Like that's not gonna work.
Like,
it's not gonna work.
To be there.
I need to be
it's almost
there.
like it's like the thing is with these obsessions, it's like a parent and a kid's recital. Like I'm like, you're not understanding. I need this ticket because I have to see my child tap. Like you have to be there because I'm a proud parent and I need to see all of the big moments. It's like the same way you like save memorabilia.
Yes. Also, like,
I need to have the moment, the memories. I need to be there for the memories.
It's like Comic-Con is like concerts for like media fandom.
Yeah.
So like what concerts are to band fandom, Comic-Con is like the in real life. It's like bringing fandom into the real world, seeing your faves in real life, getting to bask in that with an audience of people that are presumably just as obsessed as it is as you are.
Yes.
And like I think that that's crucial, especially with like social media being so big and like everything seeming like it happens on the internet and people being like, I'm so online, and like a lot of people knowing things because they're so online versus like in real life, like somebody is like, that's not common knowledge. But it's like, let's get it together. Like let's congregate. That's like kind of why we started Fangirl Central, was because we wanted to congregate people that all liked the same thing.
Yes, and we will be back on our live event bullshit soon. Thank you for being patient with us.
If you're in LA,
keep
your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled because we're gonna do some events soon.
We want to be back because we also like we polled y'all, and yes, we want to do shows like variety shows with singing, dancing, drag, and sketch, but we also want to do parties.
We want to do parties. I want to literally, I don't even know if I should say this idea, but I want to host people at a place with a stage and a microphone, and they can sign up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play every single One Direction song, or maybe we'll have to do it album by album.
I think we have to do album by album.
But it's gonna go in the order of the album, and you sign up for your slot. Which part do you want to sing? And then five audience members get on stage and they sing that part.
That's amazing. Each boy.
Yes.
I thought you meant parts of the song, but no. I mean it is like parts of the song.
Come in when it's
and
I
boy.
I want diehard fans. I want you to sing the ad libs when it's not even your turn.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I want to do that, and I also want. It's been my dream for many years now, even before Fangirl Central, to do a party where we only play Glee cast songs.
Oh yeah.
I think it would just be really, really fun.
Yeah.
But Comic-Con is like that. It is like a concert. Like I have experienced a lot of my favorite fandom moments ever I've experienced it at Comic-Con, like one year or another.
It's because that surround sound is what like IMAX and double Dolby cinema wishes they could be.
Okay,
because this surround sound in Hall H is like
crack. Sorry,
it's like you're
delete that. Don't say crack.
The Hall H surround sound. It makes me feel like I'm in a shark tank. It makes me feel like there are sharks swimming around me. And I don't know why I'm using this analogy because that would terrify me, and that's not what I mean. It's like thrilling. So imagine me as an adrenaline junkie white man who goes in shark tanks to live and survive and have a good time.
Because
that's what Hall H surround sound is.
It's because it's the screen in front of you, but then
the sound around you.
No, and then the screens
open
up and it's all around you.
Y'all, the screens will open.
They open
up and some big ass logo of whatever's about to happen is in front of you.
Or CGI. Like there have been some where it's like actually something is swimming through it. That's why I think that's why you're saying Shark Tank, because there are big things like on the side. Like it'll be like Warner Brothers and it'll be like, oh my God.
And then the next thing you know, Jason Momoa is running down the middle of the aisle.
We literally are there. It's like I'm in it.
Yes.
I'm living my dream. I wish to live in this universe while I'm in it. And even in the exhibit hall, it's like cosplay surrounding. One time I saw a guy dressed as Deadpool. I got so nervous as if it was the real Deadpool.
Yeah.
Who's the real Deadpool? He's fictional.
No, honestly, yeah. There's so many when I see a Spider-Man costume,
it's over for her.
I'm sorry, I have to sit. I have to freeze in my stance and I have to look.
I got really nervous. I didn't want to talk to him. Mommy was like, ask him for a picture. Deadpool.
Oh.
I have a picture with him. And I look so frozen. And he did this like move that was like I was like, I'm too nervous for this. And I'm 17. I haven't come into my own sexuality. I don't understand.
The thing is, there are a lot of hot people at Comic-Con, and it's kind of like
it's hot nerds.
It's hot nerds, and like the outfits that they do are like hot characters that you're already attracted to, and you're like, why have you done this? It's amazing.
When I dressed as Blackbeard, I had people saying things to me that was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy things were said to me.
Oh my God. And you were that person for people.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, they think I'm hot.
Yeah.
Because I'm dressed as a hot character.
I've never dressed for Comic-Con, and it's really time. I just don't, like, I need something to speak to me easily.
People were flirting with me like they've never flirted before in their lives. And people flirt with me, but like, I'm so awkward. I don't know how to flirt back.
Yeah.
But as this character, I was like, do you expect me to be like as suave as Taika Waititi? Because like that's not going to happen.
Oh Lord,
that's not happening right now.
Rein it in.
I just look like him for today.
Oh my God.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I know. Okay, we need to. Okay, let's.
So what's
what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go day by day? What are we gonna do?
We should tell the Teen Wolf story. Okay, because we had yes, Amber, you were starting to say it. She said that we didn't know anything. I had to look it up. I had to Google it. Find stuff on Reddit and Twitter to see like where the Ballroom 20 line started, where the Hall H line started, when to go and what to do. And I was like, I think we'll be okay if we get there at 3 a.m.
I remember feeling prepared for this in a way that I would not have been if we didn't do July 19th.
You said that before. You said that before.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because
you mean June 19th.
Yes. What did I say? July?
You said July 19th.
Because
that's weird because it was June 19th and then it was July 18th.
Yeah.
A month later.
I always think about that. And then
and also you took the lead. It was like, okay, Amber's got the Twitter updates, and then I took the lead for Comic-Con. Yeah. I was like, and it was like Amanda's got the intel.
Yes. And it was something because it was just like no one's gonna we don't know anybody. We don't have friends here. We need to just look at what people are saying online, and we
need
to
make allies.
And we make allies
on the ground.
Yes. And so we said, okay, let's go get in line for Ballroom 20, which is for Sherlock Holmes, Entertainment Weekly's Brave New Leaders, which Tyler Posey was on, as well as Matt Smith and
Stephen Yeun
and Kit
Harington.
And someone else we can't remember.
What a panel, though. Like,
I know.
Can you imagine if those guys were together today? I would literally kind of lose it.
I think it was somebody named Sean.
Sean?
Was it? It wasn't Sean Penn, was it?
Amber, Sean Penn is really old.
Oh, my God. What?
Brave
thinking
new
of?
warriors, not brave old warriors.
Oh my god, I have no idea who I'm thinking of.
Who
okay.
are you talking about?
I don't know. I feel like it was somebody named Sean.
What were the shows? It was like Teen Wolf, Walking Dead,
Walking
Doctor
Dead,
Who,
Game of Thrones.
Like, what was this like new like
Breaking Bad? No.
Was it Aaron Paul? Was it Aaron Paul?
Was it Aaron
I think it was Aaron Paul.
Was it Aaron Paul?
Was it?
I don't think it was Aaron Paul.
I think it was, and I'm so sorry, but didn't care.
Didn't care at all. Which is crazy.
Didn't care at all. If I saw Aaron Paul today, I would say be delighted.
I am thinking about Tyler Posey right now. I'm thinking about him so hard right now. Okay, we need to talk about this.
So wait, okay. So you were saying something.
lightheaded.
You were saying something very astute, which I have not really ever put together so like succinctly as you did. But like
me freaking out over Tyler Posey, you're like telling me when I made a good point.
On the day we didn't meet One Direction, you were taking the lead, and it was like and we were prepared. We were more prepared because of it at Comic-Con because we did meet people on the ground.
Yes.
We did sort of make allies, and we had gotten a little bit more used to meeting people in lines.
And when we met Sebastian Stan, which we have not told
And
the
when
people,
we met
and we will
Sebastian
not,
Stan.
you'll have to wait another episode.
Will they?
Yeah, we can't get into it.
We can't get into
because
it.
it's and I was thinking about it in the last episode. I was like, we can't do this or else we'll never shut up.
We're just
will
know
never shut up.
that it involves a very cold night, about a handful of people, once
And
upon a
Tumblr
time,
fans directing you there.
Once upon a time, and Sebastian Stan shirtless in Picnic.
Did we meet Sebastian
on
Stan and Jake
Broadway.
Epstein the same night? Like back to back?
Yes, because we met Sebastian Stan and then we met him
then
again the next night, and then we met
Jake
Epstein.
Epstein was walking home.
No, Sebastian Stan was walking home.
But so was Jake Epstein.
They all have to walk home. It's New York.
I know. That's not my point.
No, Sebastian Stan was walking home.
But I mean, like we didn't see Jake Epstein walk out of the door. We saw him walking home, right? Am I wrong?
No, we saw him walking out the door. There was just not very many people for
You're right.
him.
No one was waiting for him.
No one was waiting for him. And you were like, "Oh my god, I love the grass."
simply
We can't talk it into
never
topics. We have
done.
to do a whole episode on meet and greets.
Oh my god.
You have to do a whole episode on meet and greet culture.
You're asking for my death. Because I will hyperventilate through like 5
lot
out
of
of the 7 stories.
Well, it's okay because it's happening.
Okay.
But
okay.
we had your intel, and then the very next month we had my intel, and I was like, "Oh, Amber used Twitter. I will use Twitter and figure out what's going on and what people do and what you need and all this stuff." And like and we learned. We also were learning on the ground, and we were meeting people on the ground, and because there's a Hall H line, and then there's the everybody else line.
Yes.
and that includes Ballroom 20
exactly.
And it looked like a very long line.
Yes.
but it wasn't.
But you have to understand that people the majority of that line was going to wait in line to buy a collectible Funko Pop.
Right, exactly.
Like
or such,
quite literally.
or some such.
We were standing in this line as 15 and 17. Is that how old we were?
Yeah.
15 and 17-year-olds, and we were listening to all of these grown men talk about the Funko Pops that they needed to put in their giant bag. And
I want to point out that this was like, I feel like the first time I felt like a fangirl in a nerd environment, because like we were two really young teenage girls, and mommy dropped us off because she had to go park the car, and so it was just us alone with all these adults, and most of them were men, and most of them were white men, and I feel like I was a little self-conscious because I was like, they're looking at the girls that are in line, and they can point out which ones are here for Teen Wolf. Because a couple years before, it would have been us there for Twilight. But I'm like, I remember in my head thinking like, I want them to know that I'm also here for Marvel. Like, they have to know that I'm also here for Marvel. And I was like wearing Marvel stuff, and we watched Avengers in line on my phone.
Oh yeah,
and because I just kind of like was like I'm having like, you know, the best of both worlds, like double life crisis, like the double life of being like a fangirl who just met 5 Seconds of Summer and went to a One Direction concert, and also like a nerd who is here for Marvel.
Yeah, right.
And Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And also Teen Wolf.
Yes. And
like,
Hunger Games was there that summer. Remember?
Hunger Games was over.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. In Hall H, was Josh Hutcherson there?
Yes, he was.
Amber,
Yes, he was.
Did you see him? What's going
We
on?
all saw him.
We didn't see him.
Yes, we did. We saw him. His head was far away, though, because we slept outside for Hall H and still didn't get close at all.
I don't remember this at all. I just remember Andrew Garfield.
I don't have pictures.
Because of The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And we saw Andrew Garfield. I can't.
We saw Andrew Garfield.
I'm so sorry, because what's weird about the Andrew Garfield thing is it's unbeknownst to me what that trigger is when it comes to speaking about him, because I really loved watching him in Amazing Spider-Man in 2011. And from then on, I always think it's 2011. In 2012, and from then on, I was like, I can't handle Andrew Garfield. But it was a couple I can't get into this. I was about to tell you guys frame by frame how I got obsessed with it. We can't. No, he triggers something within me, and it's weird.
Should we have like a white boy of the week episode? Because like, there's a lot. I said
that would be the longest episode.
I said in the last episode, I was talking about getting into Marvel and how it triggered me getting obsessed with a whole slew of white men, and it started with Tom Hiddleston, but it didn't end there. It was like, well, it actually started with Benedict Cumberbatch, who ended up being in the MCU later.
Right.
But Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Hiddleston, Robert Downey Jr., Edward Norton, honestly, Mark Ruffalo, honestly, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Sebastian Stan. That's 8 people right there, just through Marvel alone. Let's not even talk about Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. That's 10 more. That's 10.
Yeah.
Like,
did you say Chris Evans?
I said Chris Evans.
Okay. Did you say Chris Hemsworth?
I said Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
And this is just through one universe. This is just through one cinematic universe, okay? Like,
they're so handsome. You know what? I will not be embarrassed for being attracted to them. Like, I just got so giddy thinking about how happy Chris Evans used to make me. Like, they were just so handsome, and like, they're superheroes.
They do. They make me kick my legs and giggle.
And you get them on those press tours, and you pair them up, and they act like just like little boys in a class, and they're giggling. You cannot deny me of the gentle, handsome white men.
No, you can't.
Of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And that's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not to mention Teen Wolf, Tyler Posey. I know he's Mexican, but he is like...
We are dancing around the fact that we have to tell this story. I think that we are actually avoiding telling this story.
Tyler Posey, Dylan O'Brien, Tyler Hecklin, Colton Haynes. Who else? Daniel Sharman. I think that's it. There's only 5 for me.
I feel like
5 white boys on there to me. And Dylan O'Brien's at the top, and then it's Daniel Sharman for me. And then Tyler Posey's like honestly in his own class, because I'm like,
listen, y'all.
So we were in line. So we're in line.
Sinister.
We're like, oh, we're gonna be so far back, like, because there's so many people here. We should get here earlier tomorrow night. It's 3 a.m. We finally the line. They let the line in, and they let everybody in who's not going to Ballroom 20, and they lead us up through Ballroom 20 upstairs. You go up the escalator, and then you get in those tents, those white tents outside the chutes, and then you have to wait even longer to be let into the actual air-conditioned
we got there at 2.
hall.
This point, it's like 5 a.m. and the sun is like slowly rising. That's the point of the time when we're in that line, and then also it's shorter, but it's still not that short. And so we were a little concerned, because we were like, how far back are we going to be in this thing? But Amanda had since learned through the panel changes, not everybody is here for all the panels, and so we can move up as
people are going to leave after the panel they want.
And so,
and since Teen Wolf was at the end of the day,
we were like, we have a good chance.
We have a good chance of getting up there. Honestly, that's a little bit delusional. I feel like on my part for saying that, because like, I don't know. There was a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Like, there was a shit ton of people in there.
But I mean, I think that it was just like kind of, we didn't see who else would be there for Teen Wolf, honestly.
No, I saw a couple Beacon Hills sweatshirts.
Exactly.
But not very many.
Couple. And so
we would slowly keep, after every panel, we had a system. Our mom would stay at the seats. I would stand up. Amber would speed walk. Because if you don't know, Amber can walk really, really fast. Like, her speed walking is like scary fast, to the point where when we would go to Universal, we would get there right when the thing open, and we would send Amber ahead to get in line for the Harry Potter ride.
Yes.
And the rest of us would keep up as best we could, and then slowly would fall off.
It's like a wind-up
I don't know what it is about her, but she would go speeding around the hall and try to find 3 seats. And she would look, and then and if she found it, she would wave at me. I would say, "Come on," and we would pick our stuff up, and me and Mommy would go up and sit with Amber.
Yes, and it was a great system. It worked very well,
and it kept happening. And this is when there were some of those panels that had the pilots, and Amber and our mother did fall asleep.
Yes, well, we had been waiting in line outside at an unreasonable hour, and a lot of these were not captivating. Like and a lot of them were not picked up. So do not blame us.
No,
but I also want to say this is also where the adrenaline is building, because while you're inching forward to the stage, like finding better seats while everyone is clearing out, it's like a reward. You're like, oh my God. And you're looking at how close you are to, like, seeing this panel.
Because everyone's doing it too.
Yeah, like versus the last one, and you're seeing how close you can see their faces.
Yeah.
And I remember it was people we didn't necessarily care about, but it's like I can see every feature on this person's face who's currently on stage.
And it would be
that means that I'm gonna see every feature of Tyler Posey's face.
And it would sometimes it'd be like, oh, like if we were back here, if this would be good enough, but we still want to keep trying to get closer and closer. And you're right, it was the adrenaline was
in the concept.
rising.
The concept and the reality was becoming clearer, because this is our first time at Comic-Con
ever.
This is our first time ever being in a hall with panels at all, and it's like we've heard that we're going to be able to go into this room and see the cast of Teen Wolf.
That's what I hear.
That's what we are hearing.
We're hearing that if I go in here and wait all day, at the end of
the
it,
day,
I'll see Dylan O'Brien's face.
And Tyler Hoechlin's.
In front of me.
And Tyler Posey's. And
Daniel Sharman.
And Crystal Reed's.
And Holland
Max
Roden.
Carver's. And Charlie Carver's.
And even Jeff Davis.
And so you're you hear that, you're excited about it. Once you're in there watching panel after panel, you're like, so this is how candid I'm about to watch the Teen Wolf cast be live in front of my face. And it's
because some of the panels are boring.
Yeah, some of the panels are boring, but all of them are very like real.
Yes,
they're all very. There's no facade. Like, you can see the person for what they are because you're right there.
And sometimes the actors will make jokes and they're not funny and no one will laugh.
Right.
Like, it's not rehearsed, it's live.
Yes, it's live.
It's here, we're here. It's like a concert.
Yeah, sometimes they'll say a sentence that they didn't mean to say and everybody laughs.
And then also people are asking questions. There's like fan questions.
Yes, and so it's just kind of like, so this is what's about to happen with the Teen Wolf cast. Are you kidding me? And I just want to say, this is a different type of euphoria than a concert.
Yeah, because they're talking.
Specifically, let me say a One Direction concert, because One Direction they do talk in between and they have so many shenanigans. But they're singing and they're actually actively doing the job that they get paid for. Whereas these are actors and they're kind of on vacation at Comic-Con.
They're being...
Like, they're working, but it's like, these were 21 to... Now I'm talking specifically about Teen Wolf. These were like 21 to 28-year-old actors having the time of their lives on a show that they got on and had no clue would blow up this way.
And it's one of the most popular shows,
and they're like
ever, and also
put up as VIP attendees at San Diego Comic-Con.
It's season 3, and they had panels the previous 2 years in smaller places.
Yes,
they were like, we upgraded to Ballroom.
Yeah,
20.
like they are like basking in the success that they have gotten from the show that they are on.
And
they are in a good mood.
And so literally we got like, I feel like 20 rows back. The next time for the Entertainment Brave New Warriors, which was right before, we got to the 5th row. And that was already crazy because Tyler, again, the lineup, Tyler Posey, Matt Smith, Stephen Yun, apparently Aaron Paul, Kit Harington. Like, these people are in front of us, and it's like, oh my God, that's Tyler Posey. Like,
when Tyler Posey, I remember when we okay, so we got to, did you say this? We got to the 5th row?
Yes.
Okay. I spaced out a little bit. Okay, we got to the 5th row, and we're seeing Tyler Posey.
When they called his name out.
Just a hint of what's about to happen.
Actually, first, they put out the name tags.
Oh, right.
They put the name tags out for each panel before they even come out. So we saw Tyler Posey. Seeing those names, Matt Smith, Tyler Posey,
so clearly.
Because
you can't see that from the back of the room.
You can only see it on when the screens come on.
Yeah.
But we saw them, and I was like, Tyler Posey's gonna come out? You guys, Tyler Posey's
confirmed coming
Tyler
out
Posey's
in
gonna
a
come
few
out?
seconds. Like everything that has just happened several times today.
It's about to happen with people we know.
It's gonna happen with Tyler Posey.
And so that happened, and I was like, and he's gonna come back, and the rest of the cast. I was like, Amber, what's gonna happen when Dylan fucking O'Brien comes out?
We started panicking.
Like
in between these last few panels of the day, it was time to panic.
And it's coming up. The entertainment briefing warrant goes off. We say we're parking right here, but then we see 2 seats in the 3rd row and 1 right behind us.
Yes.
We climb over the seats. Our mother gets the one behind us, and we're in the 3rd row.
It's like a one swooping motion,
and
we make it to the 3rd row.
So fucking close. And then they put the name tags out: Tyler Posey, Dylan O'Brien, Tyler Hecklin, Daniel Sharman,
Max Carver, Charlie Carver,
Holland
Crystal
Roden,
Reed.
Kristen Reed.
Someone else was there.
Who was it?
Not Jeff Davis.
Davis.
There's another actor. I feel like there's a villain.
Was Ian Bowen was there? I think Ian Bowen was there.
Yeah, wasn't J.R. Bourne there too?
J.R. Bourne, Ian Bowen.
Everybody was there.
They were all there.
Except
for Colton Haynes.
Yes,
he wasn't on the show.
I think he was
anymore.
On the Arrow.
Yeah.
He was on the Arrow panel. Because he was at Comic-Con that year.
We did see him.
Yeah, but
on the back of a golf cart.
Yep.
But they honestly, the panel itself is a blur. All I remember is feeling so hot around my entire body.
Yeah.
And like laughing a lot and smiling.
Tyler broke his toe on the way out. Remember he fell.
That crazy boy.
And then he actually broke his toe.
He's so like, I feel like he's the one that's like the least like his character on the show because he's so goofy. He is such a nut.
Yes.
Scott is so serious.
Yes, Scott is very calm and serene
and Tyler is crazy.
He's always saying the most unhinged thing. He
screaming.
He posted on Instagram his broken toe, and we were like, he broke his toe when he fell. That we saw him broke this toe.
We saw this happen.
We saw this toe get broken.
This was history in the making, and this happened. And honestly,
there were girls crying at Dylan O'Brien.
Heaving, sobbing, and hyperventilating, and
this is something that happened
every single time we've been at one of these panels. I think about going up and asking a question, but my mind goes blank, and I get too nervous.
Same,
and I'm like
I
can't
start
do
shaking at the thought.
At the thought,
of
going up there and having the spotlight on me and having
with
all of them
clear
look.
Mic for me to ask that entire cast a question.
I would be like,
And it's also so intimidating because you have to walk towards them after you ask it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, now they're answering my question. I couldn't do it.
And they're staring at you, and sometimes they ask your name. But anyway, I think we need to get to the end of this panel because...
Okay, yes. So as soon as the panel ended...
They're wrapping up.
They say, okay, we're having a meet and greet at Petco Park. What was it called? Party in the Park. I have the badge here. This is the badge. Immediately, see if y'all want to go there. We said, what? Did they say meet and greet? Did they say they're having a meet and greet?
And they were like, free food, but as soon as we heard meet and greet.
That was the furthest thing from my mind. I could not believe they said that. It fell into our lap like...
Our mother went, girls, I have the bags, run.
And
we leapt over the final 3 rows. People were rushing the stage to go try to like talk to them, and we were already out of the door. We flew out the door, down the steps outside Ballroom 20, down the entire length of the hall. Because Ballroom 20 is on the very opposite side of Petco Park.
Yes,
we had to go all the way down to the bridge.
Right, it's near A, and we have to go all the way to H, and then across the bridge.
And every one of those letters is the length of like a full-sized warehouse. Like it's like, and we're going from A to H, and we realize we don't have time to wait for the train.
Trolley.
So we have to go up the steps of the bridge, over the bridge, down the bridge, over the sidewalk, find J Street. Where's J Street?
It was literally like a scene in a movie because when we saw the trolley, we literally were panning. We panned.
How do we get in? How do we get in? How do we get over there? How do we get over
the
there?
bridge? And we take off, go across the bridge, asking yes, where's J Street? Then we get in this line.
Running
and
so
it's
far.
around the block. Like we're around the line.
The block, wrapped
because,
around the block.
Okay. Because, yeah, we have to go around the block. They haven't opened the park. The party in the park is not started yet because we ran.
Right from the plant panel. They were like, it's happening right after this. So we were like, I mean, I was just assuming, I was like, there's no way we're getting in there.
Right.
Like,
I was anxious because I was like, how is this? This line is long. They open the park. They check all of the badges. We get in. We're like, where is it?
Because where's the meet and greet? Where's the meet and greet?
What for some reason in my head I was picturing this whole thing is just the meet and greet with Teen Wolf.
Me too.
So when we get in there and there's all of these activations and setups, I'm like, what other business would people have here?
And people start scattering, and then a security guard is like, the meet and greet's right there, and there's 5 people in line.
Yes, we can see the table.
We can see the table.
Like we're like up on the table that they're about to sit down.
And it's like, where are they? Well, they didn't run over here.
Yeah, they didn't run over here. They probably took a bite to eat. Like,
they probably slowly escorted them.
Yes.
They honestly probably got into like
bathroom
an Escalade.
Breaks. Yeah.
And like got driven over there. So they finally get there.
Oh my God. Are we about to tell the story? I'm like not.
And I see Dylan O'Brien and my whole mouth goes dry. I also see Tyler Posey and my whole mouth goes dry. I see Daniel Sharman and my whole mouth goes dry. I see
Tyler Hecklin,
Holland Roden and Crystal Reed and my mouth goes dry.
Yes.
And
the Carver twins.
What did you say to Dylan O'Brien? We were still in line and we shouted at him.
Oh my God.
We shouted something at him because he was looking at us. We waved and then he waved back and I said, he can see us. I said, Amber, he can see us.
I forgot
Amber,
about this.
Hey, he can see us.
Oh my God, that's exactly
We're standing
what happened.
like 5 feet away from him, and I'm like, "Oh, Dylan O'Brien
What did I
can
say?
see us." I don't know. You said something to him. You said you liked something about him.
I need to go find my journal.
And so then people are like,
oh my God,
they start the meet and greet, and Tyler Posey steps away because he has to do something. And he's the first person in the line. And when we get there, he's not there. So we don't even get to meet Tyler Posey, the Teen Wolf. We don't even get to meet him.
Right. Oh my God.
He's not even there. We
never met Tyler Posey. We just saw him.
I think the first person
that sat down, it was Crystal
an
Reed.
Adult. Or no, was it Crystal Reed?
It went Crystal, Dylan. No, it went Crystal, Holland, Dylan, Tyler, Hecklin, Daniel Sharman standing up. The Carver twins
standing up.
Also standing up.
And
I'm sure they have ADHD.
I have my video.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take a video?
No.
Okay.
I just listened to myself in yours.
I took a video with my huge ass Canon DSLR. Ever. The biggest camera ever. I could have just done it on my phone, but I feel like the phone wasn't good quality or something. Mm-hmm. But I did it on my I had my big DSLR because they were signing something, they gave us something to sign. And so I was like talking to them with this giant ass fucking camera. And I told Crystal Reed that she was beautiful because that's the only thing that I could even say. I was having like gay panic without even knowing that I was having gay panic. And then I told Holland Roden that my friends met her at Versailles in Europe before, and I hadn't watched Teen Wolf yet because that did happen the previous month. My friends were like, that's Holland Roden from Teen Wolf because they watched it and I didn't. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And she was with her mom. I saw her, but I didn't go up to her because I didn't know who she was. And I said, they met you at Versailles. And she was like, oh. Like, she was like, so like, yeah, I remember that. Like, because you went up to her in Versailles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then to Dylan O'Brien, I said, I loved you in the internship. And he said, I said, you were really good in the internship. And he stopped signing, looked at me, and was like, thank you so much.
Oh my God, you're going to make me die right here. Amanda, we forgot to say, in the last episode, in the middle, we watched Teen Wolf all the way through immediately 2 weeks before this. And then also internship was in theaters. And we went to go see it in theaters more than once.
More than once because we had never seen Dylan O'Brien on a big screen.
And he looked
He looked really good.
So good.
And whenever he was on screen, I genuinely like was really like I couldn't really.
We were looking at the corner of his hat in the screen.
I couldn't even breathe because I was like, I have never seen him on the big screen like this.
Okay, yes, and then also,
and he had hair.
It was also released that he was gonna play Thomas in Maze Runner, and I read that book in 7th grade.
That's what you said to him in the line.
Well, not before though. I said it to him during me, but we did talk to him before with that other girl. I think he was saying something to her, and we all answered, and I can't remember what it is. And I know I wrote it down somewhere, so I'm gonna find it. But when I got up to him, I said, I read the book Maze Runner. I'm so happy that you're gonna play Thomas. And he was like, it was like a fresh project that no one had really been talking about at all. And he said something like, oh, thank you. That means so much. I'm really excited to like get into it. I don't know what he said, but he said a lot of words, and I was like, this is Dylan O'Brien.
He said a lot of words to me too.
He said so many words.
I just remember in my brain being like, I said what I had to say. Why are you still talking?
Right. I was
because
like,
I don't have another response. Like I didn't rehearse this.
Yeah.
Like
off script.
Why
off
are
script.
you staring at me? I think he asked my name.
Oh my God. He did. We need to watch the video.
I was like, sir.
Actually, can we watch the video?
No.
Okay. We haven't seen it. Let's do it. No, let's do it. Pull it out right now.
God. Oh.
Yeah, then Tyler
Tyler Hoechlin, I just said hi.
I said Derek's my favorite character, and he shook my hand.
I literally said hi, and that was it.
He shook my hand. Daniel Sharman gave us hugs.
I asked Daniel Sharman for a hug. I couldn't believe I was so bold.
He came around the table. He also hugged me, and he was so strong.
He smelled so good.
And he was wearing purple.
He smelled incredible.
He looks like a golden goddess. I mean, God.
Where is this fucking video?
Oh my God. Find it.
And then the Carver twins were like laughing.
They were like two jumping beans.
They were laughing at how nervous we all were.
Right.
And
right.
And
I can't remember.
And you said something, and one of them made fun of you.
I know, and I can't remember what it was. Oh my God! Wait, I'm panicking. I haven't seen this in eons. Oh, Max was first. That was me.
I was with them, but I didn't meet you because I hadn't started watching Teen Wolf yet.
Hey y'all, this is Amanda. You can watch the rest of this Teen Wolf reaction video on our YouTube at fangirl.central on YouTube. It's just too long to include and very silent, and you need the visual. Okay, back to the episode. Dylan O'Brien said my name. And Daniel Sharman said, I love you.
Daniel Sharman gave me a hug, and Dylan O'Brien, that's what he said. He said, I hope it's not utter disappointment. That's what he said. And I said something, I think I replied like, it won't be or something.
We have to move on.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. The moral of the story is, we got obsessed with Teen Wolf quickly. Then went to see the whole cast at a panel at Comic-Con.
We only watched it because of Comic-Con.
We only watched it because they
weeks.
happened to be in the Ballroom 20 that we were already planning on spending all day in. And then directly after the panel, they said there was a meet and greet that they didn't tell anyone about. This was not in our cards at all. Like, that was not going to happen. I had never heard of a Comic-Con meet and greet at this point.
No, me neither. And
it was not in my head.
Because what I thought was that, well, honestly, what I thought was that all the meet and greets were inside the exhibit hall, and you had to do that weird raffle to get them.
Right.
And they were like, literally, I'm sorry, we had never watched Teen Wolf. We only watched it because of the panel. We watched it twice before Comic-Con. We spent all day getting to the third row, and then we ended the first day at Comic-Con by meeting the whole cast of Teen Wolf minus the Teen Wolf himself.
We didn't know what the fuck to do with ourselves, but at this point, at the end of that day, we were like, Comic-Con
is life.
We have to come back every fucking year. And this is just the first day for us.
The first day.
This
and then
was our first
as soon as we got out of the line, we saw 2 lemon grabs, and I was like, Amber, take a picture with them, because we're so loopy. And I was like, we love you. Amber, take a picture with them. And I took a picture of Amber of these 2 lemongrass.
We were like, we just met the Teen Wolf cast, and now there's some lemongrass.
And then Retta like rode by on one of those like bicycles.
It was euphoric.
It was euphoric.
So many things were happening, and that was just the first day. So then it was time to go sleep outside because we were like, yeah, if Ballroom 20 was like this and we had to move up all day, we can imagine what Hall H is going to be like tomorrow. Because Hall H is the size of a small town and it holds 8,000 people.
Yeah, we had to go to Walmart and like get sleeping bags, and we were so late. We got to the line so late.
Yeah.
We got to the line at like 10 or 11 p.m. and we were so far back. And we went to Hall H 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And it made me do, because we saw the Marvel panel, okay?
Yeah.
We were really far back for it. We were also really far back for the Sony Spider-Man panel.
And the
but
Hunger
we did
Games.
And I didn't even remember that. So we apparently saw Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson. We saw Andrew Garfield.
We saw Liam and Chris.
We saw Liam
and Chris.
and Chris. Chris wasn't there.
I feel like Chris wasn't there.
Chris was there. Chris wasn't there.
Chris was there another year.
Chris wasn't there. It was Sebastian Stan and Chris Evans, though. Because it was the Winter
Yes.
Soldier panel. And I was following their updates the entire time. And I was actually so depressed that we weren't closer. But I was like, I've already met Sebastian Stan twice this year.
And Andrew Garfield.
I can't be greedy.
And Emma Stone were also there. But at this point, I was not obsessed with Chris Evans at all. He had not captured
I know.
my attention.
And we couldn't even see him. We couldn't even make him
see
out.
I didn't care
All
about him.
that did, though, was make me, because so it was kind of like it was like kind of downhill from the Teen Wolf Day.
Yeah.
But all it made me do was be like, we need to get in line for Hall H. We need to be serious about this next year.
Yeah, we need to be prepared.
And the next year, we were serious.
Yes.
We started the Hall H line at 8 a.m.
We started the Hall H line
before the panel. Like on Friday morning at 8 a.m., we started the Hall H line. And we waited for over 24 hours because the Marvel panel was the following day.
I got 2 shades darker
at
that day.
4 p.m.
The following day.
The following day. So 8 a.m. on Friday to 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Yes.
For the Marvel Studios panel.
Yes. But we got into we were waiting inside of watching panels that day.
The all day, but like we were outside all day.
Yeah,
on Friday.
Yes, and
but what you do is you got to find a gang.
We saw a bunch of like actors just driving by on golf carts. That's where we saw Jaden Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Norman Reedus sign an autograph out a window.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just random things were happening
and
consistently.
Andy Serkis and Lee Pace came to the line.
Andy Serkis and Lee Pace woke everyone up in the line
at 3 a.m.
and took photos at 3 a.m.
We were in line with our Comic-Con friends, but also my Tumblr friend Hannah and her friend Caroline. Me and Hannah met in 2011 because of Sherlock. And then I saw that Hannah went to Comic-Con in 2013. We were both there, but I didn't meet her there. And then we met in 2014.
Yep.
And we were line buddies. And then we like acquired a couple more because like you just have to have people to like rotate so you can go to the bathroom.
You can
go
get
home,
something in the exhibit hall if you want to
go eat.
Yeah, but like by 2014, I was obsessed with Marvel. Like that is when I started matching you the way that you matched me for One Direction by Take Me Home. I was there.
Because at that point, between Comic-Con 2013 and Comic-Con 2014,
a lot
Winter Soldier
came out, and we saw that in theaters 11 times.
I saw it 12. I saw it 12 times, but we did see it the Friday it came, midnight on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in a row. 5 days in a row, we saw Winter Soldier. And when I was sitting my butt in that chair as the lights went down and the Marvel little... as that came on, the logo, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I was more nervous. I feel like I was as nervous as you were when the lights went down at Take Me Home. Like, I wanted to put my legs...
We were so close. We were like third row, but we were third row on the side but it was far back.
What are you talking about?
For 2014.
No, I'm talking about the Winter Soldier movie.
Oh my
I was
God.
so excited and nervous and vomiting.
I remember looking over at you and you
I
were
was like, I
tense.
can't fucking believe this is happening.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking believe this is happening. And then
And then
we also went to the Winter Soldier premiere because it was
Right.
happening during the Explore weekend at USC, and I had
Right.
like just gotten into USC film school, and instead of doing anything normal that weekend, we went to the Winter Soldier premiere the one weekend we happened to be in LA
Yup.
during the school year.
Right.
And I met Sebastian Stan again. We met Chris Evans.
We met Chris Evans. We met Lucas Grabeel.
That's so crazy.
And
so by Comic-Con 2014, we were like both locked in on the
Locked
Marvel-mania. Locked in, like we need to be and
Obsessed
Avengers
with Chris Evans.
Avengers 2 was coming out next year.
Right.
So regardless of my opinions on that movie, all the Avengers were going to be on a panel.
right.
I
The
was like,
Avengers were going to be on a panel and it was like hype.
I need to see them all together.
They came out and Robert Downey Jr.
So we were on the 5th row. So we did make it. We made it.
Yes.
Okay.
We made it. Robert Downey Jr. When they all came out, Robert Downey Jr. pulled some roses out of a briefcase like Tony Stark, and he threw them into the audience, and we caught them in the air straight from his hand.
There's a video. I lose my mind and immediately break my rose, but we caught it from
But we
Robert
caught
Downey
it.
Jr.'s hand to ours.
Oh my God.
Chris Evans was dancing.
Aaron
Johnson
Aaron
was
Johnson was there.
dancing. Chris Hemsworth was hot. They all were there.
That was good. That's
It was
good.
such a hype. It was so hype.
It was.
It was so hype.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. What else? What other major panels? We also went to Teen Wolf
I don't
every year
remember-
that it was there.
Yeah, every year we would go back to Teen Wolf.
There is a really fantastic story in which I met my best friend Capri freshman year of college. She was obsessed with Teen Wolf like I was obsessed with One Direction. And I said, Amanda can't go to Comic-Con this year because she has an internship in New York. Do you want her badge? Because we could go to the Teen Wolf panel together. And so I'm not going to tell the story, but Capri had an identical situation to what happened to us her first year of going to the Teen Wolf panel as well. And that still makes my heart sing.
She'll have to tell it.
She'll
when
have
she's
to tell
on.
it when she's on.
That first year, I forgot I met Joey Richter from Team Star Kid. He played Ron in a very
Oh,
musical,
right.
because he was on a random panel the last day on
Right.
Sunday, and it was such a small panel that I could just go up to him afterwards and like get a picture with him. But like, yeah, we had these crazy like camping experiences 2013 and 14, and we did also camp
15 for separate
15.
things. I camped for DC Comics, the TV shows.
and I camped for Marvel again, but did not get anywhere near close because we got to there at 8 a.m. again.
Yeah.
But again, the line gets worse and worse
Do you
every
know
year.
what kills me? I chose the Flash and Arrow over seeing Spider-Man Homecoming panel. And it eats away at me.
Amber, what?
Yeah, I had to choose. And I was just really obsessed with DC Comics that summer. Not like, I didn't.
You didn't care about Tom Holland then? In 2016?
It's so interesting. Like, what? No, I didn't. I guess I didn't. No, I did. I think I did. And it was something, but it was like great. I think it was something where I wasn't obsessed.
Well,
I was really obsessed with Grant Gustin.
we would camp. I think when was the last year we actually camped?
God,
Was it? I think it was.
thinking about it makes me want to die.
I think it was 2022.
I think it was
for the Teen Wolf movie.
The Teen Wolf movie is something that pisses me off in a way that nothing else does.
It's not canon. I'm sorry. We can't even talk about
That
it.
shit stinks.
We can't talk about
Bad.
it. We can't talk about it. But also, like, they didn't tell us who was going to be on the panel, and it was only Tyler, and Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And no disrespect to any of the three of them, but like it just
It was
like,
really
depressed me
after
because
the
I was like
high that
after the
Teen Wolf
high,
used to give us.
yeah,
at Comic-Con.
especially because it was our first experience. And after we
Yeah.
left there, we didn't even book a hotel for that night because we were like, and we're gonna be sleeping in line. It was miserable the whole time. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
But
That was the
we
end.
camped. I think we camped in 2014, 15, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I wasn't there for 2017, but you did camp out. And then we did not camp out in 2018 or 19 because 2018 was when we went to the Avatar: The Last Airbender panel. There was like Avatar
Right.
Legacies, and Jack DeSena and Dante Bosco were there.
Right.
And it was so, and they read
And
out
they
a
read-
comic, and I was like, that is Zuko and Sokka.
It was so crazy to watch.
That's so fucking crazy, dude. And we went up to Jack DeSena. I cannot believe we
We
went
went
up to
up
Jack
to-
DeSena, and we asked for a picture, and we like literally fell.
First,
over
I went
into
to the
him.
stage. First, I went to the stage because I had seen people getting name cards of like Teen Wolf Cast and other like big names. I was like, I am gonna go in this small room. I'm gonna get Jack DeSena's panel, and so the person who was like cleaning them up handed it to me. So then we walked over, and Jack DeSena had piled up next to the door and wasn't leaving. So then we walked over, and what happened?
We were
Truly,
just like,
what happened?
You asked if you could have it, and he said, yeah, sure. And he was like, well, actually, I think I might need it for the next panel, because he was on the next panel. It was the Dragon Prince. But then he was like, oh, never mind. And then he signed it and gave it to us, and we were like, can we have a picture with that? And then I fell over
into him.
We
were all falling into
we
him.
were all falling.
And we laughed and then had to run away.
And laughed. I love having.
We laughed.
I love going to smaller panels, because there was one year that we went to the Invader Zim panel, and we waited, and right before the Invader Zim panel was one for Ladybug, Cat and Cat
right,
Noir.
Miraculous.
Ladybug and Cat Noir, and it was so trippy because we were like, what the fuck is this? We've
Yeah.
never heard of this show.
Yeah.
Yet everybody in here is singing the theme song.
It's
There's
so
people dressed
interesting.
up like them, and I was like, oh.
It's just interesting. It's fun to see everybody's like fandom.
And
It is.
And then My Little Pony, which made us sob.
They played a scene from a My Little Pony about, it's like an episode where the little town,
Is
they
it
didn't
emotional or something? They didn't
Or
do emotions.
they
They
didn't
didn't
emote.
sing.
They didn't emote. I think it was no, they didn't have their cutie marks. It was a cutie markless town, and so right? Or am I thinking? I've seen every single episode of My Little Pony, so I might
think
be
that
thinking.
it was just that they didn't
emote.
emote.
And so this girl sings, and the song made us cry.
I was literally. It's like from the girl who was singing was the girl from Crazy Ass Girlfriend. I remember.
right.
And Tara Strong, I think, was on that panel.
Yes.
And I was like, that's fucking
Yeah,
crazy,
It's
dude.
just crazy who you end up seeing.
But Invader Zim had a panel because they did a movie, and I don't even think, have I talked about how InvaderCon was the first convention we went to as a family because I dragged us to an InvaderCon? I think I have.
I think you have.
I talked about when Daddy was on
because
he had a booth, a whole ass booth there, and it was literally I was
I
like,
forgot.
I have to say this.
What?
I have to tell. And I know, Mother. I know you listen to this, but sorry. So because I told Amber the story the other day, but because it was the first time that we went, you didn't come with us.
Right.
You like
I had a dance.
had a dance, and I was so upset that you weren't with us because I took them to Nashville to see In the Heights and then Atlanta to InvaderCon. And I didn't even think, like, I was in 8th grade and I didn't even think that it could be like the weirdest people I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
And that my parents might think that they were a little bit strange because, you know, it's like goths and like very extremely online, like
very alt.
punks and very alt people. And this was back when Hot Topic was still a scary place for many people. And so we went and the panel, it was such a small convention that nobody was like screening the questions. And somebody asked a question about gay sex between Did and Zim. And I was like, they said yaoi. Now, don't even correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I've only read it online, okay? Yaoi is Japanese for gay sex. Somebody asked about it, and it made all the panelists so uncomfortable. It was like Jonan Vasquez, who's the creator, and then all the cast, and they didn't even want to answer it. They like were trying to skirt around, and my mom and dad and everybody was cackling and giggling, and I was sitting there, 13, like, oh God, I just want to like literally sink into the ground. And my mom and dad are like they just have not. They just don't even know what's going on. Like they
What
miss,
were their
they completely
reactions?
miss something. Like they're like, what's going on? Why is everybody what
They spaced out?
No, they didn't space out. They just didn't understand what they were talking about. Like they don't know what yaoi is. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. just something. And I was like, for the rest of the weekend, I was like, what have I done? Like the whole time I was just like on edge, being like, I brought my mother and father into like this place that I don't even know how to talk about sex myself, let alone with them. Let alone gay. I was like, can we get out of here, please? And I remember I met Joan and Vasquez that time. I met them all, both Invader cons, and I met Richard Horvitz so many times. He stayed in our hotel the second time, and I was like,
didn't he stay on our floor?
He was on our floor.
Front of us,
yes,
down the hallway.
And I was like, this is exactly like when that girl met Robert Downey Jr. at her hotel, but it's the voice of Zim and Billy from Billy and Mandy. He's such a sweet man.
He is. He was.
But this first time I met Jonan, I was so nervous because I was like, oh no, he's hot. It was like, oh no, he's hot.
Oh no.
And I also think he's really talented. And he had white glasses on, and I was like, I love your glasses. And he was like, thanks. And I was like, you don't see those a lot. And there's a picture of me talking to him, complimenting his glasses. And he was like, you know what? Not a lot of people appreciate it. And we had a whole conversation about his glass, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, and I just realized that through the Avatar, the Last Airbender podcast, that one of the creators worked on Invader Zim. And I'm like, everything's connected. Everything is awesome. And then in 2019, Amber was 21, so we got drunk a bunch. And high. I was on edibles like the whole time.
We were like drinking at the bars.
That was the year that we were blonde.
There were some open bars. We also had blonde braids.
We were blonde.
We didn't know how to act.
We didn't know how to act.
We have that picture of us on the Verve screen.
Like Verve Clico. Because we're blondes. My post from that year's Comic-Con, but make it blonde.
We
had such a fun time.
Happiest weekend of the year, I think.
And then 2022, even though we started it off rough, it was the first Comic-Con since the pandemic, and we did go a little bit insane.
We had a lot of fun.
And we went even more insane in 2023.
What else did we do?
In
2022?
Got drunk with our cousin Jonathan, who also goes to Comic-Con, who we ran into at Comic-Con one year. We were like, Jonathan, what are you doing here?
Yeah, we didn't know that we were all nerds.
And he's really tall, so our mom was like, girls, Jonathan, across the train tracks. And we're like, mother, stop screaming at us.
Pushing. We're
stuck
like,
in a Jonathan crowd. Who? And then she points at him, and she's like, Jonathan!
And we see us. That's crazy. Yeah, we were like, oh.
Keep it moving.
Cousin Jonathan's here.
But in recent years, I feel like we frolic outside of the convention center.
And it's so
at, like,
fun.
the activations.
Oh, yeah.
And,
there
was
was one year that we were next to that IMDb boat, so we were meeting like whoever was coming off of that.
Yeah, there was like Hugh Dancy.
We met
again.
Kiki Palmer, waved
Angela
at us.
Bassett.
Angela Bassett threw up the Delta sign. Mother.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's like pictures upon pictures, and then we would post up in the hotel, in the Hilton Hotel,
yes,
and see who was walking to and from the elevator.
Yes, I saw Stephen Amell walking.
I saw we saw Olin Rogers, and all looked at him, and he looked at us, and we just kept staring. We just kept staring, and he was just kind of like, okay, it seems like they're not gonna come over.
That was crazy.
Like, because he had his Final Space, his animated show was out, but we all knew him from YouTube.
Yeah,
and he lived in Tennessee. And It's a Monday video.
What else? Yeah, Comic-Con is just like.
And then last year we just went insane. It was Good Omens and Doctor Who with David Tennant at the same damn time. We spent way too much at the exhibit hall.
Yeah,
we
really didn't see many panels. We were just roaming around
and partying
and having a great time
at open bars,
like seeing everyone,
having a great time,
going through the exhibit hall and getting way too many things just because they looked cool.
We had just become Funko Pops.
We had just become Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. You know, it's just gonna be a really good. It's gonna be a
really
good year.
I'm sure that we're gonna be thriving. If you're listening to this on Friday, we're thriving currently.
We're thriving. And it's gonna be it is fangirl summer.
Yeah, and I honestly
last year I was like, it's gonna be fangirl summer, but I was depressed the whole time.
There are so many small journeys that happen at Comic-Con. One time I kind of met Cole Sprouse in a hallway after the Riverdale.
Oh my god, I remember that. You touched his hand.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what it was. After the Riverdale panel.
Oh my god, I wasn't there. You texted me a picture of it.
Yes.
That was the same year I saw you on screen at the live stream of the Spider-Man Homecoming premiere. Like, I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, I watched Amber meet Tom
I remember
Holland.
you texted me, and I went to that premiere alone.
I know.
Because you weren't in town, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna do it. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I went to this premiere to
you
meet
had
Tom
to.
Holland. But that I just really don't.
You weren't at the panel.
That's what it was, actually. I was so mad at myself for missing the panel that I was like, I have to see him. I have to be there to support him at least once. I have to go to the premiere of his movie.
You do.
And so I did. I went to the homecoming premiere.
One last time.
I saw a lot of people.
So we went to Winter Soldier. We also went to Guardians of the Galaxy that same year because it was the year.
I met his friend Harrison.
Winter
too.
Soldier was the week of my Explore. Guardians of the Galaxy was the week of my Welcome Week, and then Spider-Man: Homecoming was over the summer.
Yes.
So it was like
I had
already
go.
lived here.
I can't believe that happened. Okay, but bottom line, this has been the Comic-Con episode. We shared a couple of our major stories, but there are just so many small things that happen within the weekend of Comic-Con across the years. So we will be coming back to it.
I know we have to
frequently.
have like actual meet and greet story.
Yeah.
An actual meet and greet story episode. But I also think the bottom line is that we need, as people in fandom, the best thing about fandom, I think, is the community in shared experiences over loving and being just as intense over something. Yeah. Over a piece of art.
Yes, because
and
some
like
of the conversations are
people.
so good. Like with the people that we were in line with, we were all waiting for the same panel, of course, at the end of the day. So it's just like we were bonding over our favorite part of the Avengers and all that stuff. And
and
what else do you like?
You're screaming because Robert Downey Jr. is out in throwing roses. And
Yeah.
everyone's screaming.
Everyone's
you know?
screaming.
Like,
I mean, people are walking down the aisles. I'm serious. People are walking down the aisles. And it's just a huge production.
Yeah, that first year we were in Hall H, we weren't close, but Tom Hiddleston did come out dressed as Loki.
Tom Hiddleston came out dressed as Loki and he told us all to kneel. He came down. Now, I couldn't think of what epic moment I was trying to think of, and it was Tom Holland. He walked down the aisles as Loki, the god of mischief.
As Loki.
Fully dressed as Loki.
I was freaking out.
And he stared the audience down.
And told us to shh.
He made us all be quiet, and he stared us all down. He did not break character, and he told us to kneel.
He didn't break character.
He didn't break character. It was Loki, the god of mischief on stage in the same outfit that he's in all the movies. It was weird.
And
it was
he
crazy.
was literally so in character because I feel like he was shooting.
Probably. They were always shooting. They were like, we're currently filming, but we put together some sort of thing for you with what we've got already.
Yes.
Which was even more crazy to think about, that they just had filmed this and like it's on its way.
Or they were in the middle of filming, and they were literally, Winter Soldier was in the middle of filming, and so was Guardians of the Galaxy, but they brought them all out anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's part of the contract, because they know that it's part of the hype building.
Yeah.
Because you have to have them there.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston's hair was still black. Like, that's how
it was
real
flipped.
it was.
It was flipped.
His hair was black, and we entered a raffle to meet him. We didn't get in on the last day on the Sunday, even though we came there at like 3 a.m. again. But we did get to look at him dancing up close as he met everybody. I have very copious amounts of footage. And his hair is black and curly on that last day. And I couldn't even believe I was sharing space and air with Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Because he's where it really all began, because he's the reason that I'm into Marvel. If you want to go back, it's Benedict Cumberbatch, but it's really Tom Hiddleston. I said, who's that beautiful man?
Oh, one time I saw the Once Upon a Time cast in the middle of the exhibit hall signing autographs.
Oh, one time I saw Jake Johnson in the middle of the exhibit hall.
Yes.
Signing autographs. He's so hot. I have to say that I just rewatched all of New Girl all the way through, and something that I used to say as a bit in high school is, I am Nick Miller, and anytime I would tag, reblog anything about him, my tag was not Nick Miller, it was I am Nick Miller. We share the last name. I am him.
I was Winston.
You are Winston.
I'm Winston.
And I just love him. And he even made his way into the Marvel universe because he's fucking Peter Parker in Spider-Verse.
Oh, right.
And he couldn't even be more well cast.
He
couldn't even be more well cast, because
that version of Peter Parker is
his voice is just so hot.
It is. I'm thinking of that scene where he's pulling the chains in Home Depot when Jess is like fiending over him, and he's just pulling the chains. He's like, so unnecessarily, like in the stance. And it's like, get rid of him. Get out of here. Rid of him.
And she's like, stop. And he's like, what? What is it? He's like, what is it, Jess?
His face.
What is it? And she's like, stop. And he keeps like pointing his feet at her, and she's like, stop. And she's like, and he's like, what? He's like, what? What?
Oh my God, she's so skittish. That's so real.
No, it literally is.
It's just the real experience. I don't know. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, but I just feel like you guys need to hear a little bit more about Comic-Con, but it's late and we're tired.
I know, like, I think that
We'll tell you
Comic-Con
more
will
later.
we'll have to talk about our experience at Comic-Con because we'll come back from it at some point.
Oh yeah.
And
so
I feel
we'll
like
give you a
there's
third episode.
There's a lot of build up
yeah.
this year because we just have a lot of fangirl activation moments. Like, we went to the Avatar: The Last Airbender for your consideration screening
Oh my
and
God.
panel with the entire cast, and we haven't even talked about that. It was insanity that has not been seen since 2013.
And Gordon, how do you say his last name?
I don't know.
Little Aang, who he's not, I feel like he's gonna get really annoyed of being called little, but because he's grown a lot.
But he's little.
He's so little, but he's grown a lot since the first thing, and I can already tell that he's in that teenage like mindset where it's like
I'm not a kid.
Okay, but I'm not a kid.
Yeah, but he is.
But he is, and he's so cute.
He's so
and
tiny.
He's so little, and he had the cutest outfit on, and we both told him that we loved his outfit, and he smiled so big.
There was a
He's
reception
adorable.
after, and I did not know that the actors were going to be at the reception.
Neither did I.
Our friend works at Netflix, and he got us into it because he's on the awards team, and he was like, they were out last night, but I don't think they're going to be out tonight.
So we were just sipping
So
our
we were
wine,
just sipping
enjoying
the
our
free
time, dancing,
beverages, free chicken, and bopping around
Yeah.
and going in all these different places, and then Gordon came out, and we were like, oh my god,
We were like,
and
look at him.
he's even little, he's even smaller than I thought he would be, because I was like, oh, but he's had a growth spurt, but he's still
But
tiny.
he's still tiny.
He's so tiny. He was so, and everyone was like bothering him.
I don't like looking at young like famous kids. He looked overstimulated,
Yeah,
and
he did.
it was making me anxious.
Yeah, I had to back away. But then
Yeah.
right before he left, we went.
It was like he had naturally looked our way, so we were like,
we love your outfit.
Oh wait, no. What happened was two young girls wanted a photo, and so I think his publicist called him back, and then since we were just hovering around looking like some aunties, we were just watching him with our wine, take photos with these young girls. She thought we wanted a photo. We were like, oh no, good.
And we love your outfit. We love your outfit.
He's like,
We love your outfit. It was like so, and he was like, oh, thank you.
he smiled.
And he's
so
like, have a
cute.
great night. And I was like, oh,
Sweet
he's so
child.
cute. And literally,
And
we were
then-
on our way out.
Yeah, then we were on our way out, and we saw the rest of the
We
cast.
saw the rest of the
Is
cast.
what happened. And we just weren't ready to. We weren't prepared to see the rest of the cast. Members such as Dallas was there, and so we just sort of like wolfed down the gummy bears that our friend brought us.
He was like, I have gummy bears. And we were like, oh, yes.
That's great. We
don't
both
like
hate
gummy bears.
and we start eating them rapidly.
We literally saw them, and I had to turn my back to them because it was Dallas, Ian, and Yawanio.
Right.
Okay.
And they were all having their little meet and greets
And
with whoever they were talking to.
They were talking. They were taking pictures. I was super fucking high.
Me too. Well,
I was super
literally
high.
Gulped down the rest of my wine
Me
because we were about to
too.
leave, and so gust a little bit buzz, and then also, guys, we find Dallas attractive.
I'm sorry. We find Ian attractive.
We find Ian and Dallas attractive, and so we were like,
They play Zuko.
LOL,
and
they're
Sokka.
not going to be here.
They
We
play
saw
Zuko and
Gordon.
Sokka.
They play Zuko and Sokka. We were like, they're not going to be here. We saw Gordon, and if they're not here now, they're not going to be here. But
They were right
if
at the
they are,
exit.
if they are going to be here, we should come up with some code word, and we hadn't come up with a code word. And so as we were leaving,
I turn around to say the words. Aren't you so glad that Ian and Dallas didn't end up being out here because I can't talk to them?
That's what I was about to say. That's what she was going to say. But what she said, aren't you? And I said code word because we hadn't come up with. And she goes,
And I said, why are you saying that?
Because we didn't come up with a code word. And we.
No, you literally didn't say because we didn't come up. You just said code word.
No, I said that whole sentence. I think you only heard
I didn't
me.
hear that.
It was insane. So then we
I
walked
heard
out.
code word, and I looked at you and I said, because I knew what it meant, and then I saw them, and then
I didn't.
and then my friend goes, "Oh, look, Dallas is out," and I said, I
Like,
turned
we
to Amber,
know.
and I locked eyes, did not stop locking eyes, and started talking at the speed of light, saying words
We
that
just
didn't make any sense.
I started ranting about something.
Amber started making
I made
up
up
a story.
fake story with some real
and
elements.
I was like, oh, really?
And just
really?
I
acted so engaged.
It made me so.
I did not break eye contact.
It was like honestly insane. I wanted more preparation to say something like,
y'all did a good
we really
job.
like what you did with Zuko, like normal things.
Something normal. But I was super crossed. I was really, really high. There were free drinks.
I wasn't.
And I had prepared. I had
my brain turned off already.
for the night because I was
we were
I'm
walking
having
out.
a fun time.
Yeah.
And like they're not here, so
Yeah.
everything's good. And I will combust if I tear my eyes away from Amber for even 1 second.
Because now Dallas was steps away from us.
He was right behind us.
He was right behind us, and I felt like
All of them were right behind us.
I felt like if I turned around, I would turn to a pile of ash.
And look, guys, we are not teenagers anymore.
No.
We're not teenagers. In fact, we're older than all these people.
Yeah.
However, I was inebriated, and I wanted to be able to say something normal.
Right. It was like making you panic even more.
And I knew that if I went up to them, something horribly, uncomfortably, and awkward and embarrassing would come out. I just knew I would embarrass myself, and I was like, I can't do it right now.
I can't turn around.
I can't do it right now.
I didn't want to make any eye contact.
I can't make eye contact.
It was
I can't even say nothing.
And it was awkward because our friend worked there, so he had to go get his backpack, and so we were the last ones in that little circle. And
he also hadn't talked to all of them earlier because he was like
Dallas's handler, right?
They're all their handlers.
Oh. My
he
God.
got them all refreshments. He worked at the place.
Right. And so we just had to keep our cool. We were like, we're not going to say anything crazy.
They think we don't know who they are at all. We're at an event for them, and they think we don't care nothing about them.
And so it got awkward because at the very last minute, I was like, I got a burst of like, maybe I can. And I turned around. I locked eyes with Dallas Blue and then just turned back around and was like, let's
get out of here.
Let's get out.
I was like, let's get out of here.
Get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
It's not going to happen.
We can't be in here. We can't be in here.
It was ridiculous.
Look.
It was ridiculous.
Okay.
We are only human.
We're just human.
And we're fangirls.
We're fangirls.
And this is just what happens.
It was unexpected. It was unexpected.
It was unexpected.
It was the least.
I don't think I've been starstruck in a really long time.
In such a long time. Look, you guys. Avatar: The Last Airbender is my favorite show of all time.
We watched all 8 episodes in one sitting. We sat down and watched them all the moment they were released.
And we rewatched the whole series the week before they were all released in 2 sittings.
Yes.
Like this show is in our veins. And then the people that played Sokka and Zuko, who I am attracted to, those characters.
Yes, insane.
And then the people that are playing them, who I'm also attracted to,
who are now also kind of attractive as well,
are standing in front of me. To me, that's Zuko and Sokka.
In like really nice clothing.
They look good. Also,
like
Ian owned like a fashion company. Like he's a fashion icon.
Really?
Yes. Like I was like, that's Zuko and Sokka. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do?
Dallas it was is really attractive.
I felt exactly how I felt when we met Dante Bosco and Jack
DeSena.
I was
just
freaking
like a
out.
bit of some panic.
I freaked out and fell into
Jack DeSena.
What do you want? What do you expect from me?
I couldn't.
What do you want
we
from
can't
me?
have a repeat with people who are now like slightly younger than us.
What
I won't make a fool of myself.
And so we couldn't speak.
And I won't make a fool of myself.
And they saw us.
And they definitely saw us making fools of ourselves.
And look at us.
And look at us.
We have pink and purple hair. Can't mistake us for nobody else.
Oh, right.
We have an Avatar: The Last Airbender rewatch podcast, allegedly. We can't go an episode without talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Of course we know who they are, but we were like playing it cool.
Yeah.
No, we were playing it trying to survive.
Yeah, we were being professional.
Doing like this.
Do you know, could you imagine, because I feel like I said it in the last in the rewatch podcast, I said that if I ever saw Dallas out, I would pay him from my own pocket for his performance. Imagine if I gave him $1
and didn't say nothing.
No. He'd be like, what the fuck is going on? I think he's adorable.
I hope that they don't listen to this, but if you are ever seeing this, like,
mind your business and
mind your business.
No, you didn't.
We were just kidding.
We were kidding, and actually we lied.
This is all a joke, and that didn't happen.
We just fabricated a story.
That didn't happen at all.
twisted
Actually,
the truth.
it was a dream of mine, and I convinced Amber that it was real.
I was thinking about us, thinking about we, thinking about where we gonna be. Oh, my eyes, it was only just a dream. So
No, if you're watching this, we would love to work together. We're fans of your work, and we would love to.
No, that's not even funny. That's not even a joke.
We would love to collaborate one day.
We are fans.
I myself am a writer and filmmaker. And a fan of your work. Huge fan.
And stop. I can't take you seriously, even though this is completely reasonable.
I couldn't take myself seriously that day. Honestly, it felt like a fever dream. I couldn't even believe that it happened. I was
felt
like
I was
why is
15
this
again.
happening? I felt like I was 17 again.
I felt horrible.
And we were dressed really cute.
We looked really cute. Like
I was like, I don't know what's going on with me. Do you know what's going on with you?
We couldn't.
It was a nerve. It was nerves.
It was nerves.
I'm sorry.
We panicked.
You know.
And that's why I'm
know what people
so
are.
Concerned
Look.
about.
There was one time that I was 2 feet away from Michael B. Jordan, and I became hot.
Stop.
My whole
please.
body became
you have
warm.
To stop. You have to
I
stop.
can't help it.
I can't help it.
I have eyes and a brain.
No, it makes me concerned for running into certain others.
It's not even starstruck.
No, they're hot. They're just cute people.
They're hot, and there's Zuko and Sokka.
Sometimes I get stumped by the hot barista. I just did the other day.
Zuko and Sokka are really big characters to me.
They're important.
They're really, really big characters.
They're important,
to me, actually.
We need to pick up on the Avatar Rewatch Pass. We've done 2 episodes.
We need to go home.
Okay, y'all. It's been a pleasure. You'll hear more.
We'll hear more from us always. You know, we have more to say.
We gonna keep talking.
And one thing about us, we gonna keep talking.
And we gonna keep talking. I'm Amber.
I'm Amanda. You can follow us everywhere at fangirl.central, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yes.
We're going to be picking up the YouTube, so keep an eye on the YouTube. If you like YouTube, let us know what you would like to see us do.
Yeah.
Like we're thinking sister tags, we're thinking other tags.
Yeah, we're bringing YouTube back.
We're thinking reaction videos, we're thinking music videos.
We're doing music videos.
And so just let us know.
Suggest.
And as always, you know, get on the Patreon. We have extra content and really embarrassing content. We would love to know if you relate to it.
Yes.
The Avatar Rewatch podcast, whenever it does happen, will also be on Patreon.
Right.
So keep an eye out on that.
Yes.
Please go watch our One Direction episodes. We put a lot of work into them.
Yeah.
And
just remember.
Hope you're enjoying your life.
Yeah. Have a great summer.
Have a great summer. I'm Amanda Lane Miller.
I'm Amber Lee Miller.
And
as always, keep it chaotic.
Oh my God.